I'm now going to go through the task for the 4-cylinder boxer engine. So I've got the task here in front of me. So page 1 is just a front sheet telling you what it is and shows you a picture of the boxer engine. This is the part we're interested in. So the task is to model from detailed drawings and create assemblies. The time you will be given to do this task is 6 hours. And what you'll be given is you'll be given the part drawings, you'll be given the assembly drawing, and you'll also be given the parts that are needed to make the assembly. So we're now going to go through the task. You've got advanced and higher. So the first thing you need to do is create 3D models for all the parts shown on the 2D detailed drawings. So of these parts, 10 of them you will have a drawing for, and you will need to model each of those parts using those drawings. Number 2, you need to assemble the 4-cylinder boxer engine in the correct assembly sequence. So what you need to do is the way you bring these parts in, so i.e. down here in your browser, will need to match the parts list shown in the assembly drawing. So of course you're going to bring in the base plate first, not this piston in here, for example. Number 3, you need to reproduce the 2D assembly drawing. So the drawing you are using to aid your assembly, you need to recreate that exactly on a piece of A2 paper. So it needs to be identical to the one you are given. So you need all the section views, you need to shade the appropriate views and have the parts list and balloons. Number 4, you need to produce an exploded view drawing on A1 paper which clearly shows all components, so you need to make sure nothing's overlapping and we can see each part. The title for this is 4-cylinder boxer engine exploded view, and you must include a full parts list. So this is for advanced and higher. So if you're in advanced, this is the 4 you need to concentrate on. If you're in higher, as well as this, you will need to produce an AVI file to demonstrate the full physical simulation of the boxer engine. So the physical simulation would mean we can see exactly how this boxer engine would work. You also need to produce an AVI file to demonstrate the 4-cylinder boxer engine exploding and collapsing. So when you're doing your exploded view, you also need to produce an AVI of that. You need to make sure you save your files to your hard drive in a folder which is identified by your name. You're allowed to use a computer from the beginning of the competition until the end, so the full 6 hours. The output will be the software modelled part, the assemblies and the drawing files, and if of course you're in higher, it will be the AVI files as well, but it will be the electronic files. We won't need you to print these out, it will be the electronic files. The notes, this is if you were doing the competition live. The organiser will take a copy of the electronic folder for marking, so no requirement for printing. And this is the marking scheme, so this is what you need to concentrate on. So let's look at the parts here. So you've got 10 parts here that you need to model. As you can see, the end block vapor control is worth 10 marks, whereas the crankshaft is worth 2.5 marks. So that would suggest that this is obviously harder, but also you should spend more time on this one because it is worth more marks. Okay, so you need to, if you're running out of time, you need to look at where you can pick up the most marks. So for advanced, you also need to assemble the boxer engine, as we know. There's 20 marks for that. For the assembly drawing, there's 38.25, and the exploded view drawing, there's 21.75. So you can see the most marks in this whole competition are given for the assembly drawing, which is the one you have to recreate. So you should be able to pick up all these marks as long as you can create it exactly as per the one that's given to you. If you're in higher, the same marking applies, except there is 20 marks for AVI files, which is 10 marks per AVI file. So that's your marking scheme. Again, you need to very carefully check this through, look at the parts that you're good at, and make sure you maximise your chance to get all of those marks. And that is the task for the boxer engine. Good luck.